Good afternoon and welcome to Titan Talk. Hey guys, thanks for joining us today. Today you got myself, Lieutenant Coop, and Captain McFarland didn't want to join us today. He felt like being rude. No, I'm kidding. He had some other stuff that he was handling, so he couldn't join us today. So April was nice enough to grace us with her presence again. So thank you again, April, for joining me.
You're welcome. Sorry to, have to crash in on you.
Yeah, the disappointment of having our local talent versus April. So I think we'll be okay. I think that we can survive.
Yeah, we'll be fine.
We have upgrades. Take it. What's that movie? Random thing. That movie from was it Robots?
iRobot?
No.
Robots
with
Aunt Fanny.
Yeah. Upgrades, people. Upgrades.
Why be you when you can be new?
Anyway, so today we're going to talk a little bit about the Titan store. We're going to talk a little bit about uniforms. Get a little update on that. We don't have much of an update for it, unfortunately, because we're still working with multiple companies to make sure everything gets together. We'll talk a little bit about, like I said, the store and returning equipment, whether it be because it's damaged and you need new, or you want to buy new equipment because you want to own your own. Whatever the case may be, we'll bring a little update on that. So if you guys have any questions on it, Robots, a DreamWorks movie. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Michael. And we have a local celebrity, Michael, joining us today. Hey, Michael. Ooh. He's in a band.
Michael Cox, yes.
So a little bit on the uniform update. We're still working with a couple of different companies to make sure that they have everything we need, so we don't have a full timeline on new duty pants was the next one that we're working on, correct?
Yeah. Some of you have already heard from me, and I've gotten your sizes. Those have been sent in. We are waiting on the finished product for those first 50 officers. Once I have those, I'll send you all an email, let you know to come in, try them on, make sure everything fits, and then you'll be on your way. For anybody else that's out there, feel free to send me your sizes. You all should have my email. It's april.pierce@tpcsecurity.com. You send it to me. It means I don't have to hound you for it when I need it. So feel free to send it to me, and the sooner I have it, the sooner I can get those in as well. That's unfortunately with pants, that's the biggest update I have. Shirts, still trying to find that perfect shirt because how you guys look is such an important factor. I'm not willing to settle for just anything, and neither is anybody else. So once I have an update on shirts too,
What's funny with that, we argue. I wouldn't say argue, but
argue.
I'd call it with arguing. Well, with clients, we'll argue with clients about uniform shirts and stuff. And we have clients that have different understandings of what our uniforms are, because we have different versions, because we have different types of officers out there, and we'll have our grays, our navy blues. We've got our polos. We've got the full tactical looking one with the outer vest that a lot of our patrol clients absolutely love that. Our high active areas love that look and everything because it gives that authority look to it and everything. And with so many things that can change in a uniform, we'll have clients all the time like, oh, I really like this. It looks like a T-shirt. I'm like, that's a no. Yeah. And so it always adds in when you're taking a company that we've been using for years and years and years, and then you're like, hey, we're going to move things around and change it a little bit and add in a new source. There's always some confusion between those two about how to make it work, or the materials that are used and how to get together. And so lining that up and getting those teams to work together is always the most difficult part that we have to deal with.
Well, and one of my favorite things about Titan is the diversity we have in finding a uniform that is great for everybody. I'm short and stout, so not everything fits me the way it fits Coop or anybody else. So finding something that just everybody is going to feel happy and comfortable in is ultimately what's important. Because the last thing I want to do is put on something that I don't feel good in, and I want to make sure that everybody feels great in our uniforms.
I remember when we had the original uniforms we had, which were the BDU style shirts. And it was a one-size fit all type of shirt. So you got a large, it was a large, and it was a large for everybody. There wasn't like you got a large and it kind of fits you a little bit better than another one or something. It was a one size. It was pre-cut and type of stuff, and it's exactly, it was just straight up and straight down.
Yeah.
And the funniest thing about those is, like, at that time I had gained a significant amount of weight, and I was wearing, I think, a 2X at that time. And a 2X was huge. An XL didn't fit me, and so I was in a 2X, and I'd bring my arms up, and it looked like I was trying to sail away. And so I used to get some of the dispatchers back then used to tell me that when they'd see me on camera and I'd like raise my arm to point at something that looked like I'd have a sail down here.
Oh, that's
And I'm like,
funny.
that's not. I don't like you guys anymore. Like, I don't want to deal with you. and then we traded to the shirts we currently have, and then the arms fit better and everything. And I was like, this is so much better. But,
See, I love the shirts we have.
oh, absolutely.
And it's just hard to get a hold of them.
It's the
sometimes.
material. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So that's always, always a tough thing to deal with is when you're getting suppliers like that to work together, and there's always going to be a little bit of miscommunication, or it's a hard time to kind of get everybody on the same page with what materials are being used and how things are the patches attach and how they look and things like that. So give us some leeway on that while we work through those things. And as soon as we get more updates on that, we'll let you guys know. Please make sure that you send April the information that she needs. Otherwise, she's going to start hounding you and calling, and she can get pretty annoying when she does. No, I'm just playing.
Well, to be honest, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that.
But so that's where we are with the uniforms. We are still working on it. April, I will say April was probably the number one reason we got the jackets done as fast as we did them. So if anybody wants to say thank you for April for the jackets, now's your time. So, but on that note, when it comes to the Titan store, and it really is kind of just like that, it is a store. So if you guys need another pair of pants and you want to buy another pair, you've got 2 or 3 and you want to buy a third, or you want to buy more, you're welcome to come in, and we can set up an appointment, and April can get you all taken care of with that. Goes for duty equipment that you guys, if you want to either need a replacement, and that's something as well. If you guys have a piece of equipment that breaks while you're on duty or it's job related, we do replace that for you guys. So I've had that question pop up a few times in the past. Figured now's the time probably best to bring it up and let everybody know that does exist. So if it breaks while you're on duty, you can bring it back and we'll get you a new one. Just make sure not to throw that away so we have it.
Yes, please. Well, and that's not to say too, like, so we offer the True Spec 24/7s. Let's say you like the True Spec Ascents or even the 511s. We are able to order those too. Mm-hmm. Don't think you have to go to GT. So if you have a specific pant in mind and we're able to get it, you can come to us to order that and then we'll bring it in for you.
Yep. That's 100% true. We do special orders for pants. Shut up. Rude.
You said it.
I did. But we can order pants, stuff like that. Gary's asking about new T-shirts for sale. Gary, that's a good question. My question to you real quick before I answer that, are you talking the Titan T-shirts like what April is wearing here? Or
Vanna White.
Or are you talking the uniform shirts? Let me know on that one because that'll kind of determine what my answer is. The reason being is the Titan T-shirts like what she's wearing, we do offer those for sale in the store. The Titan uniform shirts, those aren't for sale because those have the Titan patches on them and stuff like that. I can't actually sell those.
I was going to elaborate on that because I've had a few people reach out and ask if they could buy additional ones. The only additional uniform you can buy clothing-wise is the pants. Now, the shirt, if your shirt wears out, a button pops off, a patch comes loose, bring it to me. I'll change it out. Yeah. No issue at all. Now, if you accidentally bleach it or destroy it, unfortunately, then you have to buy new shirts. But
yes, you have to pay.
They're still ours.
You have to pay for the replacements.
Yes.
So the Titan, the T-shirts, yes, though we do have those for sale. We have the regular one that it's got the little Titan badge on it, just like that one does, and it says KCMO on the back. We have the pepper spray one in stock now.
Nutritional facts.
Which gives you the actual nutritional facts of pepper spray, which if you didn't know that they had, I didn't either until I saw the shirt, and I was like, that's a thing? And then we have
sheepdogs.
The sheepdogs, which is actually the shirt that April's wearing. So we do have those in the store, all assorted sizes. We only have short sleeve right now.
And they are uniform approved too, so you can wear them
under
your uniform
shirt, not actually for a uniform.
No. So like instead of like if you don't buy an Under Armour shirt, but you want to wear like the long sleeve sheepdog, which we do have, they are uniform approved, so you can wear those underneath.
Yep, 100%. So those we do have, Gary. I don't know prices off the top of my head. There's too many numbers that I try to remember for me to remember those. Email April or call her.
They're $14.99 before tax, so roughly it's going to be around 17 and some change, maybe
so
18.
Nice having you in here right now. So there you go. There's your answer.
But size 2X goes up. 2X and up goes to $16.99 and plus tax.
It's $2 plus.
I always pay the $2 plus.
I do too. But that's because I like bigger shirts.
What? They're still tight on me at 2X, but we won't talk about that.
What about my ungodly amount of band shirts? I have like 10 Star Set shirts alone.
Okay, band
You have
shirts will
12.
always be in style. I still have my Fall Out Boy t-shirt from like 9th grade.
I got a couple of Disturbed shirts.
Yeah. AC/DC, Kiss, you name
Yeah.
it. Like,
I got a Linkin Park one. I don't remember where it came from. I don't remember buying it, but I just remember now it's in my closet now. I'm like, sure.
I think like there was this thing where like once you started buying band shirts, they just in your
Appear.
closet. Yeah, and it was concerts you'd never even been to, but they just appeared.
So I've got Korn. I've got 3 Korn shirts from actual live concerts, but I've only actually been to two Korn concerts. So I don't know where the third one came from. Same with my Linkin Park one. They just pop up. Liz, thanks for
I
joining
never
us.
went to Korn. I never went to Korn. No, my very first concert experience was
Garth Brooks.
no.
No, mine.
Oh, I was like, do I look like a Garth? I love
Yeah,
Garth, but
you do.
he wasn't my first. Mine was like actual legitimate concert. It was 3 Days Grace, Buck Cherry, Puddle of Mud, and Saliva. And
All right.
Saliva was, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
amazing. Buck Cherry, meh, I had my first crowd surfing experience. Safe to say that was my last as well.
Let's
But
see.
it was fun.
My last one I went to was a Korn, and it was my last experience with a mosh pit, and I had a guy almost break my nose.
I
Mind
had a
you-
few busted noses from mosh pits.
Mind you, the guy who actually hit me, and it wasn't like a mosh pit like push. It was a full blown like pop me in the face. He was probably twice my size in height and weight, and so I come around they had the security lining it. I come around the security guard to get into it, and I just all of a sudden see. I was like, well, that's the end of this.
And it was funny because like I'm all of like 4 foot, 5 foot 4 3/4, right? So
5 foot nothing.
right. Well, thank you. So you go to these concerts, and it's always like, especially I was down from Southwest Missouri, so these tall guys, long hair, real gangly, and here I come, and I'm like, I want in the mosh pit, and they're like,
I was always
What?
I was always the shortest guy in it every time. Let's see.
I got my butt whooped multiple times, but they were also the first ones to pick me up when I hit the ground too. So they were good people. It's just all about throwing
T-shirts
punches
were
for fun.
Liz says Elton John was her first concert. Slipknot was her last. Slipknot does a good concert.
I've heard that they put on a good
Oh,
concert.
it's
I've
a
not been
good
to one.
show every time. The one I wanted to go to, Slipknot did a one of their music videos. I can't remember the name of the song, but they did a music video, and it was actually footage from the concert. The entire video is of them destroying a house, and the band is like in the living room, and it's a pretty good sized house, but the band's in the living room and they're playing, and it's just hundreds of people that are in this house packed in
The
it.
concerts in the
Yeah.
house.
And they're destroying the house as part of the video.
That's awesome.
And it was the coolest thing ever. And that was the concert I wanted to go to. I wasn't old enough at the time. I would have been stomped out. But
See, I want to go to a Five Finger Death Punch concert. I've heard they put on a fantastic show. The lead singer, he's an amazing human being.
yes,
And I just absolutely love his support for veterans. That is just one of the things that makes him just phenomenal.
Five Finger Death Punch and Disturbed have always.
Yep.
Five Finger Death Punch, I think, is probably the most vocal about when something goes wrong. I think they're the most vocal person I've ever seen stop the
Yep.
like not just like stop it a little bit. I mean, like they flip the lights back on. They point out what's going on. They're like then they solve everything, and then they're like, okay, well, you just got hurt, or this was involving you. And on the victim side, you come up here and you get a rock out with us, with the Brett, and then you get thrown out.
Well, there was a guy, they were actually doing, I think it was just like a mosh pit that had started. A guy just cold cocked this woman, and the lead singer pulled him up on stage and then had them drag him off, and he got EMTs down to this lady. And I mean, it was phenomenal to see.
Phenomenal.
Tim McGraw was another one. He saw a guy hit a girl in his, and he
I watched.
grabbed him by his waistband and drug him up on the stage.
I watched one where a chick was crowd surfing and they dropped her.
Ooh.
Yeah,
That hurts.
and then, so she was. You could see her you could see in the video because they have like the video and they're singing. The camera's from like back here, and you just see her float and you just see she just disappears. And I was. And you don't notice it at first, and then he stops the whole concert. He goes, "Is she okay?" And everybody's like, "What are you talking about? Is she okay?" And they finally she stands up and you can see her.
No one knew she was even down there.
No, nobody's just instant drop. And so he pulls her up on, has the EMS check her out, all right there on stage.
Yeah.
And they have her sit down and everything. And then he continues the concert. And
See,
but it was the cool because you just see when you watch it back after seeing what he does, you go back and watch the video. You can just see her come across. It's instant. It's not a little lower, slowly. It's just straight down.
And the one thing I learned about crowd surfing is there is literally no personal space.
No. No, there's hands everywhere.
I didn't think about that the very first time I went, and I'm not gonna. I was wearing a skirt and I didn't think about
Mistake one.
Oh, yeah, and I was at the back. And
Mistake
that
one was
entire
wearing a
time,
skirt to a concert. Mistake two is going out for crowd surfing.
I made it all the way to the front, and I'm like, yes, I'm going to get on stage. Security comes over. Nah, they walk me out. And then I get back up there. I make it halfway, and they dropped me. I was like, okay, I'm done surfing. I'm good.
I think my favorite, as I watched a guy at a Korn concert try to crowd surf, he hopped off. He tried to jump the little fence that's in front because you've got like a 5 foot between the stage and where the first mosh pit is.
Yeah.
He tried to hop that little fence, and the security guy grabbed him by the shirt and was like, nope, and just heaved him backwards. And so I guess
You're going crowd surfing the opposite
I guess
direction.
he thought he was going to crowd surf, so he put his arms out like he was going to land, and everybody just like made a hole, and he just boom.
Those are my favorite things to watch. Fail Army. I'm sorry. I love to watch people get hurt just because they made the choice to do that, perform whatever dangerous action they did.
Oh, dude, it's...
And I die. Fail Army all the time.
There's so many things you'll just watch that are just like that, and you're just like, well, you had to be drinking something because that's, as a sober person, you're like, that is a bad decision. This is going to hurt. And then they do it anyway. And you're like, okay, whatever. I mean, that is what it is. But no, Fail Army is definitely, there's some funny stuff that you can see.
And ridiculousness. My son just recently got on that and loves it. The scorpion is his favorite.
Oh.
I have scorpioned on a trampoline. Luckily, it wasn't like cement, but that hurts enough. I'm not built for trampolines. So
I don't think anybody but kids are built for trampolines. I'm sorry, they're not.
when you have a kid, they want you to do these things. My son asked me to show him how to do a pogo stick, and I ended up in the hospital with a broken tailbone. So just tell your kids to watch YouTube.
My nephew wanted to play on the trampoline. His parents got one, real cheap one, and he wanted to play on the trampoline. And he's a big wrestling fan, and so he wanted me to like body slam him and stuff like that. And so I hopped up there and I did the traditional like light body slam and stuff like that. I wasn't paying attention to what I was doing. I put my foot through where the springs are, so he hit there and bounced, and he's laughing, and I took a step back, wasn't paying attention, and I went down.
I can still feel the springs on the inside of my thighs.
I had spring marks for like 3 weeks on my inner leg.
That's one
just
of
below
those,
where you don't want them.
That's one of those pains that like you can still feel 20 years later.
Oh yeah.
But when we were
I haven't
kids,
gotten on a trampoline since.
But when we were kids, we would do that, and I mean, we would cry and complain about it for like 5 minutes, and then we would get back up there, and we would just bounce through the pain.
I remember my friend cracked his skull. Like hit his head on the bars around the support bars.
Ooh.
Just came down, wasn't paying attention, came down sideways and hit that, popped back up like that. He looks around for a second. You could see his eye like do this little vibration thing. And we're like, you good? And he goes, yeah. And it like stopped. And he goes, let's go again. And we're like, dude, we think you got a concussion. Like, we got to have you checked out. And he's like, no. We're like, dude, you're dying. Like, something's not right because your eye's twitching. And he goes, no, it's okay. We asked him like 6 months later, how is his vision? He goes, every now and then I get this like little vibration in my vision. I'm like, that's not good.
That's scary. I mean, looking back, I honestly don't know how I didn't die from some of the things I did.
It's funny. I think that's everybody though. You get to a certain age, you look back and you're like, man, I remember doing this. And you're like, how did I not die?
Well, and there was so many times where my dad's like, don't do this. Don't let me catch you doing this.
Dude.
One of them was jumping off the waterfalls down at the Joplin Falls. And I go out that morning, with my friends, and my dad's like, what are you doing? I was like, oh, nothing. We're just going to go to the mall or something. This is after I'd been told no.
Don't.
So we get out there. I get up on the falls, and I'm, jump off, not even thinking. I'm in jeans. I'm in a tank top. I'm not being smart. I got my Converse on, And I get out, and this guy's like, hey, I got a great picture of you, and I'm putting you on the front of the Joplin newspaper for Sunday. I was like,
no, please.
Oh, it happened. So I didn't say anything. And next thing I know, my dad,
Did he see it?
Well, my dad shows up after work. I think it was like Monday or Tuesday or whatever. It was like 2 days later. So I was like, oh, I'm in the clear. He shows up and he's like, so how was the mall on Sunday? Oh, it's great. It was fantastic. He's like,
You want to explain the photo? Can we not talk about that?
So what had happened was, I'm grounded. Bye. I just took myself to my room at that point because I couldn't even lie about it. There was factual evidence
Photo
that
proof.
it had happened.
I think the worst I've had is there's a lake in New Mexico. It's called Elephant Butte, and when the lake is full, there's a cliff that you can go jump off. Everybody does, and it goes out like 20 feet. So it's like this like a little rock diving board, right? Mm-hmm. And it goes out 20 feet, so you're jumping into the water. Otherwise, you'd jump in and you'd hit the rocks. And when it's full, the lake is all the way up, you don't have to worry about anything. When it's down, there's rocks at the bottom. Yeah, so you don't do it. And me and my friends, I don't remember when this was. It was years and years ago, but we decided we were going to do the same thing. We're like, we're going to go jump. And everybody's parents were like, no, no one's doing that. Well, we're at the lake. We don't ever get to come out to the lake, so we're going to go do what we want. So we waited for everybody to go to sleep. And it was like 7:30, 8 o'clock at night. We didn't know that the water levels were down by 10 feet.
You went at night?
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
I'm brave, but I'm not.
Oh, we brought like the floodlights and stuff.
Spotlights,
Yeah. And so we had one guy standing at the bottom of the floodlight doing this.
That's a quick way to attract animals you don't want.
Animals, law enforcement, all that stuff. And so we're jumping as he's following you down with the light, and patrol pulls up. The sheriff does in a boat.
I mean, I'd rather have patrol than to have a little swimming rattlesnake. Like,
But so we got 2 or 3 of us, me being one of them, who have jumped, and we're swimming back, and all of a sudden the light shuts off. And we're like, well, we can't see anything. And then you hear the boat. Because you can hear it from like a distance, and it doesn't sound like it's getting any closer. And then you see the spotlight. And you're like, oh, well, we're busted. And you can hear your buddies, all 3 of them, cackling and running.
Like,
the sheriff's like,
caught, I did
what
not.
are you boys doing? Swimming. I don't think you're swimming. I know where we are. That was stupid. Can we just get out of the water and not talk about it? No.
You know those moments that you like should have a soundtrack for your life. I think back to those moments, and I wish the song "Dumb Ways to Die" would have come out back then.
Absolutely.
Because
There's so many moments in my life that song applies to. Car surfing, which please don't ever look it up. Don't do it if you've never done it. It's not fun. Gary says, wait till you're in your late 40s and everything hurts. Gary, everything hurts now.
I'm going to look up car surfing, just like shark flipping. I got to look up car surfing.
You ride the roof of a car.
No, that looks like,
yeah.
No, that looks like it would hurt really bad.
Well, yeah, if you fall, you don't fall.
Okay, I am not blessed with the best coordination, so le falling. I would le fall.
To this day, I still don't think any of my parents or my friends' parents know we car surfed. We got away with that one pretty easily.
No, I played chicken with cars, and I did it a couple times on the trailing tracks. Don't do this, please.
I lost.
I'm obviously I didn't because I'm still here.
Well, I'm still here.
I did a lot of stupid things. Like, when they try to fix things like putting boulders at the bottom of waterfalls to keep you like literally we would go out and be like, okay, we can jump right here.
Yeah.
If we miss, we break our back. If we make it, we're
good.
like a 2-foot radius that we're fine.
You just jump and you dive straight down like this, and you're like, please make it, please make it, please make it.
Yeah. Well, but they also shallowed it out. So you're like, okay, so now I just need to scoop it up.
See, Mike says, I climbed on the roof of one of those old Ford conversion vans and fell off the roof, landed on my back hard and hit your head. Mike, that would explain a lot about you.
Ow.
That's what he says. It explains what's wrong with me now. It's true. But
my goodness.
Other than that, that's the dangerous stuff that we do as kids that we shouldn't be doing now. But Gary, no, everything hurts now. Everything hurts now.
I'd like to say I learned my lesson, but there's still some pretty stupid things I can't wait to do before I die. I'm just saying.
We don't learn our lesson.
No. YOLO. So I've only got one life. I don't want to look back and be like, I wish I would have jumped off that mountain,
Dude, my favorite question as when you're doing all this stupid stuff as a kid and everything was, did it hurt, bro? Yeah, it hurt.
Did you learn a lesson? No.
What are you going to do next time?
Do it again.
I'm going to do it again. I learned
just make sure to jump better.
Not to land there.
Right.
Other than that, that's really all we have. I think at this point we'll go through a little weather report, and then we'll call it good for the day. So for now, we're looking at it's 67 degrees today.
It's beautiful outside.
It's not windy. That was the one thing over the weekend. The weather wasn't too bad, but that wind was just horrible.
Yesterday was cold. It would have been fine if it wasn't for that wind.
It didn't bother me none.
I'm weak.
Let's see. Tomorrow and the rest of the week, we're looking like it's going to 78 tomorrow, but it's going to be it's going to be high 40s by Saturday. So it looks like it's going to get colder throughout the week with storms Wednesday, Thursday, and partly cloudy Friday.
Partly crowded. I mean, we're getting
It's
close to
crowded
the NFL
everywhere,
draft, so
but-
that will be next week. It will be
Yeah, I would say
absolutely crowded.
Next week it'll be crowded everywhere.
Speaking of that, guys, just make sure you plan ahead as far as like finding your path to work, because it is going to be madness downtown with the NFL draft.
Absolutely.
So just make sure we're not leaving 5 minutes when it's 5 minutes away, just in case you get caught up. Leave yourself plenty of time to get there safely in case you run into something. Or
I will say
anything.
most of downtown will probably be closed down.
They've already started closing streets. They started closing
That's 'cause
streets
they're doing-
last week. They're building the stage. But more and more streets are going, because they're expecting, last time I saw, they're expecting a minimum of 350,000 people.
Yeah.
So,
So it's going to be packed. It's going to be busy. Make sure you plan accordingly for getting to and fro work. So on that note, though, I think we're going to let you guys go. Thank you so much for joining us today. April, thank you so much for loaning me your time.
thank you for having me.
We appreciate you guys and everything you do in the field that allows us to do the amazing things like this podcast and some of the things that we're able to do. So thank you so much. Keep up the hard work. We appreciate it so much. If you guys don't forget to comment. If you guys have any videos you guys want us to show, you can put them in the comments. If you guys have my email, please send them to my email as well. I'm happy to receive those and double check them. Make sure you label them, whether they're for breakdown or if you guys think that they'd be a good reaction video. But other than that, I think we're going to call it. So enjoy the rest of your guys' week. We will catch you guys on the next one. Stay safe.
Can we have them send us like their favorite fail video? Can we react to that?
Sure, why not?
Ooh, send us your favorite fail video, and we'll revisit the fails one day.
We'll do that as well. We'll
Yeah.
save those up. So have a good one, guys. Thanks.
Bye, guys.